Hi, welcome back to the power of model drawing. Now, today we are going to look at grouping and elimination. So we are going to use these two methods to solve problems. Alright, now, so what exactly is grouping? Now, grouping means to make groups from the model and then use the groups to solve the problem, to get the answer. And what is elimination? Elimination means to get rid of something, right, by making the number the same. Alright, so in the problem you will see two kinds of things, and you may be asked to find how many of one type of things. So what do you do? To find that one type, how many is that one type? You have to get rid of the other type by performing elimination. Right, we will go into this in a moment's time. So let's look at the first example, and how do we make groups from the model? Now, this method is quite important because later on, when you come to harder questions at P5, you will need to make groups out of your parts and units. So there will be a model that is called parts and units model, and you have to identify the groups in the parts and units model, and then use the groups to solve the problem as well. But let's look at a simple problem first, and how do we make groups out of this model? Now, 4 similar chopping boards and 3 similar knives cost $74. 2 chopping boards and 1 knife cost $30. What was the cost of 1 knife? So I believe that this problem, you have seen it before quite often. So how exactly do we solve the problem? Now, you draw a model to represent the 4 chopping boards and 3 knives. So you can cut into 4 boxes, and you can label chopping boards. Alright, so let's call C for chopping boards, and knives, 3 knives. So how much is 4 chopping boards and 3 knives? That will be $74. Alright, that's how you draw out the first sentence. Now, how do we make groups from the model? Now, you can look at the next sentence, and you can see that 2 chopping boards and 1 knife cost $30. So which means that I make one group out of, which is 2 chopping boards and 1 knife. So that is my one group. Alright, and I'm going to circle the groups in the model. So it will look like this. So you have 2 chopping boards and 1 knife. So how much would that be? That will be $30. So can I make another one group out of the model? Yes, I can. I have another 2 chopping boards and 1 knife. So I got another $30. So how much is 2 groups now? That will be $60. So which means that in this model, this part is $60. So now, can I find how much is 1 knife? You take 74 and you minus 60. So how much is 1 knife? 1 knife is $14, and you have solved the problem. Alright, using grouping. Alright, so later on, like what I said, when the question gets a little bit harder, and then you have parts and units in the model, then you have to make one group out of the parts and units. Alright, let's go to the next question. Now, 4 tennis rackets and 4 badminton rackets cost $360. 3 tennis rackets and 5 badminton rackets cost $342. How much more does a tennis racket cost than a badminton racket? Alright, now, if you look at the first sentence, how do we draw that out? Now, you have 4 tennis rackets and 4 badminton rackets. Now, when you see equal number of things, right, equal number of each type of things, now you can immediately, you can make one group, right, one group which is one tennis racket and 1 badminton racket. Alright, so you have one group with 1 tennis and 1 badminton racket. Right, that is your one group. Alright, now, so if I were to draw the model, okay, now you can see there are 4 tennis. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's call T for tennis, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 boxes, which is the 4 badminton rackets. And you can see that how much is all these tennis and badminton rackets? That will be $360. So how many groups make up this model? Now you can start to circle one group. That's one group, and then you have a second group. All right. So you have 2 groups already, and then you have 3 groups, and then you have 4 groups. All right. So you have 4 groups, which is $360. So how much is one group? Well, if 4 groups is $360, then you just divide by 4. So your one group will be $90. Right? Okay, now using that one group, let's draw the second sentence. So 3 tennis rackets and 5 badminton rackets cost $342. Alright, so let's draw a shorter rectangle because the money is lesser now. And you have 3 tennis rackets. So let's cut 3 boxes. And now you have 5 badminton rackets. So you have 5 boxes for badminton rackets. Alright, now, so how do we circle the groups? Alright, now you can see that you have made one group, which is 1 tennis racket and 1 badminton racket. So from the second model below, we can start to circle one group. So you have 1 tennis racket and 1 badminton racket. So how much would that be? That will be $90, right? Because your one group is $90, correct? Okay, now let's circle another one more group. 1 tennis and 1 badminton. So you have another 90. Alright, and then another one more group. So you have now 3 groups already. So how much is 3 groups? That will be $270, which means that this whole this part of the rectangle, the money is $270. So can you find how much is 2 badminton rackets? So you take 342 and you minus 270. How much would that be? Alright, so let's work out the answer. So 342 minus 270, that will be $72, which is the cost of 2 badminton rackets. So now can you find how much is 1 badminton racket? So you just divide by 2, and 1 badminton racket is $36. Okay, if 1 badminton racket is $36, then can you find how much is 1 tennis racket? Alright, now if you go back to that one group, now one group is how much? One group is $90, right? So let me just write over here. So if one group is $90, then how much is 1 badminton racket, which is 36, right? 36. Then how much is 1 tennis racket? 1 tennis racket will be 90 minus 36, and you will get $54. So your 1 tennis racket is $54. Alright, so now can you find how much more does a tennis racket cost than a badminton racket? So you take 54 and you minus 36, and that will cost $18 more, and you solve the problem. Alright, so a tennis racket costs $18 more. Okay, so that's how you make groups out of the model. So if you see equal number of things, like for example you have 4 rackets or 4 tennis and 4 badminton rackets, now immediately you can start to create one group which has 1 tennis and 1 badminton racket. Let's say maybe the problem indicates, maybe the problem says there are 10 tennis rackets and 10 badminton rackets. Then you can also make one group with 1 tennis and 1 badminton racket. Okay, and then you can use that one group, right, to solve the problem, right, by finding how many groups there are in the problem. Okay, alright, now let's go to example 3, or the next example. What happens if we can't circle any groups, or we can't make any groups? Then we can still draw a model, but it will be a bit different. Okay, let's look at the next example. 3 chairs and 2 tables cost $260. 6 chairs and 1 table cost $220. So find the cost of 2 chairs. Alright, so I can't make one group because there are no equal number of chairs and tables. Otherwise, I can have one group with 1 chair and 1 table. And also, if I were to draw out the model for the first sentence, for example, 3 chairs and 2 tables, I can't circle any groups, because you look at the next sentence, 6 chairs and 1 table. How to make one group out of 6 chairs and 1 table? Because I can't circle anything, right? If that's the case, and you can't circle any groups, neither can you make any groups, then you do this way. Right, you still draw the model, alright, but this time I am not going to cut into so many boxes. I would like to just cut into 2 parts, and I call this 3 chairs and 2 tables. Alright, and how much is 3 chairs and 2 tables? That will be $260. Alright, and then you have 6 chairs and 1 table cost lesser money. So I'm going to draw a shorter rectangle. Alright, maybe just a little bit longer, and this will be 6 chairs and 1 table. Alright, so let's tidy up a little bit. And how much is 6 chairs and 1 table? That will be $220. Okay, so it's quite simple to draw. Now you want to find the cost of 2 chairs. So what do we do? Now, alright, so can we make the number of chairs the same? Alright, the same. Or can we also make the number of tables the same? Alright, so how do we do that? Now, to make the number the same, you just find the multiple, the common multiple. Okay, for example, if I want to find the cost of 2 chairs, then what do I do? Now, then I will make the number of tables equal. Alright, for example, how to make them equal? Now you can see that there are 2 tables and there's 1 table in the model. So if you find the multiples of 2, right, multiples of 2, or multiples of 2 tables, there'll be 4 tables, 6 tables, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. And the multiples of 1 table is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so what is the common multiple? 2 tables. That is the same number, right? So you make 1 table to be 2 tables by, how to do that? You just times 2. Alright, for example, let's times 2, and what do we get? Now if we times 2, now you will have 6 chairs, you times 2, you will get 12 chairs, right? 12 chairs. So let's put down 12 chairs, and 1 table times 2 will be 2 tables. Alright, and then the money, which is $220, you also have to times 2. It means that the whole model you have to double. So times 2, $440. Okay, now we can bring down, okay, let's bring down the 3 chairs and 2 tables, which is the model on top. Let's bring it down, and now you can see that 3 chairs and 2 tables. Alright, so you have 3 chairs and 2 tables, and they cost $260, right? And if you look at this model carefully, can you see how much, what is the difference? Now, if you look carefully, you can see that 2 table minus 2 table, that's gone already, right? Nothing, no more tables. But 12 chairs minus 3 chairs, that will give you how many chairs? That will give you 9 chairs here, right? 9 chairs. And how much is 9 chairs? That will be $440, and you minus 260, that will give you 9 chairs. How much is 9 chairs? So 440, and you minus 260, and you will get $180. So how much is 1 chair? So 1 chair will be 180, and you divide by 9, so 1 chair is $20. Okay, got it? Alright, and if 1 chair is $20, then you can find the cost of 2 chairs. So 2 chairs will be 20, and then you times 2. So 2 chairs cost $40, and you solve the problem. Right? So that's how you draw the model. Right? If you can't circle the groups, you can't make any groups, then what do? Then you get rid of the other type which you don't want by making the number of that type equal. For example, I don't want the tables, I want to know the chairs. So I make the number of tables to have equal number. Like 2 tables and 1 table, I make them equal. And how do I make them equal? I just times 2. Alright, times 2 to get the same number of tables now. And when you times 2, remember the model, right? The 1 table times 2, 6 chairs also times 2, and your $220 you also have to times 2. So the whole model has doubled. Okay? And then now after you have doubled the model, you have times 2 for everything. Then what do? Now you can find the difference. Alright, how much is the difference? So you can see that there is a difference of 9 chairs. Alright, and there's also a difference of $180. You take 440 and you minus 260. That will give you a difference of $180, which is also the same as 9 chairs. And then you can find 1 chair already. And once you can find 1 chair, right, what happens? You can find 2 chairs already. And that's how you solve the problem using model drawing. Alright, now let's go to another example. Okay, now again, if we can't circle the groups, what do? We will have to get rid of 1 type by making the number equal. Alright, so let's read the question. Miss Lin bought 3 t-shirts and 1 dress for $147. Maria bought 2 t-shirts and 3 dresses, and she paid $231 more than Miss Lin. So how much did each dress cost? Okay, so let's draw out the first sentence. Now, so you have a rectangle. Miss Lin bought 3 t-shirts, so let's cut 3 TS and 1 dress. And that will be $147. Now, if you're not grouping, if you're not circling the groups or making any groups, then you do have to cut into many boxes to represent the t-shirts and the dress. Alright, then what you can do is you just cut two parts, and the first part you write 3 t-shirts, and the second part you just write 1 dress inside. Alright, Maria bought 2 t-shirts and 3 dresses, and she paid more money. So you have a longer rectangle. Alright, so there will be 2 t-shirts. So let's put down, and then 3 dress, and what's the total money she paid? Now be careful, it is not $231, it's $231, right? $231, and you have to plus. So you take 231 plus what Miss Lin has paid, 147. So that will be how much? So 231 plus 147. So Maria paid $378, and you can indicate onto the model. Okay, now, so you want to find how much is 1 dress. So I don't need to know the t-shirts, right? I can get rid of the t-shirts. And how do I get rid of the t-shirts? By making the number equal. You have 3 t-shirts, right? And you have 2 t-shirts in the model. So can you find their common multiple? So what is common multiple? It means you have 1 times 3, 2 times 3, 3 times 3, 4 times 3. These are called multiples of 3. Multiples of 2 will be 1 times 2, 2 times 2, 3 times 2, 4 times 2, and so on. So what is common multiple? It means to look for the same number. That is called the common multiple. And that's how you make the number equal. Alright, so let's make the number of t-shirts to be equal, and U times 2. Alright, so the whole model doubled. Okay, the whole model is doubled. Alright, so it's going to be quite long. Alright, so I should have drawn a bit shorter. Alright, so you double the whole model, double the model, and now you have 6 t-shirts, right? 6 t-shirts, and you have 2 dress. Alright, because 3 t-shirt times 2, double, 6 t-shirt. 1 dress times 2, 2 dress. And the money will also double. So 147 times 2, and you will get $294. Now how about the model below, which is the 2 t-shirts? You have to triple it, right? You have to times 3. So you times 3 for that model, and the model will of course become also longer. Alright, let's draw slightly longer, not too long. Alright, otherwise it will cut through the other side. Alright, so okay, so let's triple the model. So 2 t-shirt times 3, you will get 6 t-shirts. Alright, 6 t-shirts. So let's cut here. Alright, 6 t-shirts. And you can see that now you have equal number of t-shirts already. Alright, and then your 3 dresses you times 3, you will get 9 dresses. And then the money, which is $378, you also triple it. So you have 378 times 3, and you will get $1,134. Alright, so now we can solve the problem, right? How do we solve it? Well, you get rid of the t-shirts by subtraction. You take 6 t-shirt minus 6 t-shirt, no more, gone. And then 9 dress minus 2 dress, you will get how many dresses? There'll be a difference of 7 dresses, right? So how much is 7 dresses? Well, 7 dresses will be, you look at the money now. Now, you have $1,134, which is the model below, and you minus 290, you minus how much? You minus $294, and you also get the difference. So what's the difference? So you minus 294, and the difference is $840. Okay, so one more time, let's look at the model again. Now you take 9 dresses minus 2 dresses, and you get a difference of 7 dresses, right? And then you look at the whole number, which is 1134, and you minus 294, and you get $840, which means that your 7 dresses is $840. So can you find how much is 1 dress? So your 1 dress will be $840, and you divide by 7, and you get $120. So how much did 1 dress cost? And you solve the problem, $120. Okay, so that's how you use the model to help you to solve this kind of problems. So there are basically two kinds of method that you can use or you can think of when you come across these questions. Now you can think of making groups out of the model. And if you see, for example, you see equal number, like 2 t-shirts and 2 dresses, and then you can start to make one group out of 1 t-shirt and 1 dress. And then you can find how many groups there are. Alright? And once you can find how many groups, you can work out the answer. But what happens if you can't find any groups, or you can't circle any groups? Then you proceed on to elimination, which is what we did just now. So you have to get rid of one type. For example, you want to know how much is one dress, so you don't need to know how much is a t-shirt. So you get rid of the t-shirts by making the number of t-shirts to be equal, and then after that you subtract. Alright, you subtract the t-shirts, and don't forget you also subtract the dresses. And once you subtract the dresses, you will find that you have 7 dresses left over, and then don't forget to also subtract the money. So elimination means to perform subtraction. So every time you are eliminating something, you have to subtract, and when you subtract, make sure that you always subtract the same kind of thing, like t-shirt minus t-shirt, dress minus dress, money minus money, because later on at P5 level, you are going to do elimination as well. Alright, but at that stage, you'll be looking at parts and units. Right, so but right now we look at actual things. We look at actual items. But later on you'll be looking at parts and units. Alright, so that's how we draw model for this problem. Alright, so in the next lesson we will look at another kind of model drawing. Alright, so stay tuned to the next model drawing lesson.